It's time to have a look through the papers for you once again this morning with Vicky Beeching and Michael Buck. Good morning. We'll kick off, Vicky, should we, with page 8 of the Mirror, and it's care home abuse. There's convictions and sentences yesterday. I mean, it's so depressing that this could ever happen.
I know, it's terrible. So it's a care home in Lancaster, and just the most awful things happened to people who were suffering from extreme dementia. They were stamped on, slapped, hit with beanbags, and apparently all this happened for fun. The people were so ill in terms of their stages of dementia that they weren't able to report this. So only thanks to whistleblowers has this actually come to light. And one of the things I found most disturbing was one of the reasons given for why these people did this was boredom. They were literally so bored, and I think that does actually say a lot about our culture, the constant entertainment and the sort of self-assumption that we deserve this amazing life where we're excited and stimulated all the time, and that boredom could lead to something like this.
But is it the sort of Lord of the Flies syndrome that actually people who are no doubt nice people ordinarily leading nice ordinary lives actually can turn?
I do wonder. I think cultures can become normalised, can't they, in any institution? And this is one of those, I think, where multiple people have been involved. You can kind of imagine it becoming more and more normal as the months and years went by.
I don't think they can have been nice, ordinary people.
Well, not nice and ordinary, but I think it can be a slippery slope, don't you think? Within any closed institution, the culture can shift gradually and almost like,
understand it.
People kind of falling into line.
The worrying thing is with the more and more people getting dementia these days, and the fact that we've got an ageing society, there's going to be more and more people in care homes, there's going to be more and more people to care for. The staff aren't particularly brilliantly trained by the looks of it as well. You can see this happening time and time again more, unfortunately. I mean, they're talking about reprofessionalising teachers, Labour today, but you wonder what checks are done on people who work in care homes sometimes, because I know these stories are remarkable because they're not the norm, but they seem to be coming up more and more, and it's just slightly worrying. It'd be interesting to know what checks are made in some care homes. I'm sure there are some very, very good care homes as well, but there is going to be bad apples, and there seems to be a lot more bad apples.
It is worryingly telling about our culture.
No, it does.
Absolutely. People will relieve boredom by carrying out abuse.
It's absolutely terrible, and it means probably we need more surveillance, which people are against. But you hear things like this, and you just can't help but think people that vulnerable need to be protected.
Yeah, I think there's a strong argument for that. Talking about modern culture, Michael. I mean, the Mirror's been running this for a couple of days now, but looking at this dad of 22, I mean, he's been tagged as shameless in all of this. Yeah,
and it's interesting that the Mirror are doing it, and they're choosing to do it, and I think they're trying to make a point, and the point that they're making is that, yes, this guy is terrible. Well, in their opinion, he's terrible. 22 kids, 11 different women. He's been spared jail for dealing drugs because he's looking after his baby daughter, and so the judge let him off. And obviously there was a lot of upset about that yesterday. They've looked a bit more in detail at him as well today. Just speaking to local people in Cumbria who used to live near him, and they've called him a womanising scrounger. They said that he lived this life of luxury, which, when you look at it, it's not. I mean, it's all on benefits. It's not luxury that you think about in the traditional sense, because he's got a caravan and a double-decker bus on his front garden, which to me isn't luxury. But there's drinking parties in the front garden, things like that, and it's all done on the public purse. But the point the Mirror are making in their comment piece by Alison Phillips is, here we have him gift wrapped specially for Cameron and his cronies. Raymond Hull, in the week that Osborne announced 12 billion of benefit cuts, he's the perfect poster boy for their ideological attack on welfare. However, as they keep on making, again, it's remarkable because it isn't the norm. This guy isn't everyone on benefits. This is one guy on benefits, and he's using the system. It's people like that should not get benefits, and is the point that they're making.
It's so easy to move from that then to an assumption.
And then demonising everyone else.
Yeah.
And the point is that they're wanting not to do that.
It's an interesting sort of spin that they're putting on it, isn't it? I don't know if we should do this next story, Vicky, in the Telegraph, looking at the way TV impacts kids' brains if any children are watching this morning.
Put some tinfoil on their head, parents.
Quickly. Look away, children. This is interesting. It's a study out of a university in Japan, some new research saying that too much TV actually structurally changes the formation of children's brains, apparently affecting the kind of grey matter in the front of your brain, and they're saying that it leads to lower verbal intelligence. As you know, I'm a real geek, and a lot of my research involves technology, and I would say this is just another classic story of panic. We saw similar things said even about the printing press and about the radio, that terrible things were happening, especially to children. And,
well, I suppose it very much depends what they're looking at.
It does.
If it's endless cartoons, then maybe that would lower.
Yeah,
I remember
they're just saying anything, literally, like any content. But
I remember watching, as a kid, watching news round from about that distance, seeing a report about kids watching TV and it was bad for them, and it was a picture of some kids looking at TV from that distance.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
And look at me, I'm the deputy editor of the Daily Express now.
Yeah, when it
Oh, God.
Back in there, to get that close to a TV when the pixels are about that big.
they were huge, weren't they? But I think what they forget is that the structural formation of the brain may well be affected, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. We are evolving constantly, and I would argue that actually our brains are changing sometimes in ways towards plasticity that enables us to spread our attention, to do multiple things
But
at
they
once.
are saying it's detrimental, though, aren't they? Because they're saying it leads
They
to
are
lower
at the moment,
verbal
but I mean, these
intelligence.
things do take time to catch up, don't they, with that? We're basically learning and developing as we go, responding to new technology. So
Who needs to speak to each other, Gillian? Come on.
we can text and tweet now. We
We'll
don't
do
need
it by
to speak.
thought alone.
See, this, Vicky, is why I like you, frankly, because you're the very few people to sit there and talk about the plasticity of our brains.
Well.
I love it. I love it.
Just a geek.
You are just fabulous in every possible way. We're going to take a short break. We're back with more papers in just a moment. So we're looking at the papers this morning with Vicky and with Michael. To the Mail, Michael. Subo is a neighbour from hell.
See, I don't know what this woman's on about. And I'll take you through this story. This is a woman called Teresa Miller. She's 40. She lived next door to to Susan Boyle, Britain's Got Talent star, superstar Susan Boyle, in Blackburn, West Lothian. Now, she claims she's subsequently been booted out of her house by the landlord, who's the same landlord as Subo next door. She claims
Subo's got a landlord.
Subo, there's someone who's owned the house. Someone owned the house next door is the landlord and used to be Subo's. She's bought the house anyway, Subo. Anyway, this woman has been booted out for various reasons, apparently antisocial behaviour. However, she's claimed that Susan Boyle was the one to blame simply because she sang a lot next door. Now, if you lived next door to international singing sensation Susan Boyle, you'd expect someone to belt out a few tunes now and again, wouldn't you? Wild Horses. She said there was one, a Donny Osmond one that she recorded that she did on, and it was like karaoke. No, it wasn't. It was like listening to Susan Boyle, and you were listening to Susan Boyle. So I don't know what this woman's on about. She's clearly got a grievance. I'm trying to have a go at our Subo.
How dare she?
I suppose it depends what time of day she's
I said she was
belting
normally
these out.
finished by 10, I think.
Normally finished by 10.
Fairly respectable, you know.
I'd have everyone round, sell
Yeah,
tickets.
You could sell tickets.
You
couldn't
could.
you?
And now,
True.
Susan's got the house next door and she's knocking them through to make a big one. That's going to be all Subos. There you go. That's the house she...
That's where she's
No, I
choosing
know.
to live, right?
That's why she's out down to
Millions
earth
of
heroin.
pounds.
But she likes it there.
She likes it
That's
there.
where she lived,
That's where
and
she's
she's
grown
not
up.
seen the need to change. Why
Yeah.
should she?
Knock 'em through.
Get it re-pebble dash.
Hey.
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying. Insulting women now. Let's.
Oh, I'm good at that.
This is in. Have I got the right paper here?
Yeah,
in
yeah,
the Sun.
you have, yeah.
Oh, it's all. Oh, I see.
Yeah, this is fascinating. It's the latest word being added to the Urban Dictionary, thut, which is the merging of thigh and butt. And I was just fairly horrified by this whole highlight, really, that it features all of these words that are used, 90% of them are used for women, and it's about when one part of your body merges with another. So you've got the chin-neck, the chin and the neck, the cankle, which is quite familiar, you know, calf and ankle. There's one about men here.
Heavage.
Heavage is male
It's at the bottom.
cleavage, which is
Yeah, it's
when
bad.
men kind of work out and get heavage. But all the others,
I spent years trying to get heavage.
all the others are about women and they're negative, whereas the heavage one about men is actually fairly positive.
I wouldn't say it was positive.
Oops.
Well, it is if that's what you want with your low cut V-neck, you know.
you haven't got
Sleevage, back cleavage.
Yeah, sleevage is where you get the line between your arm and your sleeve, like
See,
kind
I
of
quite-
cleavage of the sleeve.
I quite like a cankle. I like a thick leg.
I just don't think we need any more words to diminish
wrong with
women.
the
There's already
cankle?
enough pressure on the way we
And
look.
what's the thut? Is that the one in
The
the
thut
middle?
is thigh
It's
and butt, so
thigh,
they're
but
basically
it's-
saying there's no kind of definition of where the
It's
butt
like this
becomes.
lady's bottom there. I don't know.
It's not a pleasant sight.
But none of it's positive, and I just think it's
not
sad there's
delightful.
even more words.
Never mind. I think it seems a bit unfair, doesn't it? Look, we shall see you both in an hour. We look forward to that. Get a check on the weather for you now.